Hey friends, welcome back to Keim Farms. Today we're going to be taking you on a full garden tour showing you how everything is going. It is towards the end of July, end of July, and we're just going to show you how the garden's proceeding and how everything looks. Since we're here, we'll start right here in the front under our pergola, however you say it, gazebo thing. We decided to grow our loofahs on it this year, so you can see that they are climbing up and looking beautiful. They've got lots of flowers. Only one loofah so far that I've seen, but it's really looking beautiful, kind of covering the archway, and they're really full, and I'm pretty excited about that. Can't wait for the whole top to be covered and have some nice shade. We've also got our wisteria growing. We're training it to go up on this trellis as well. We know that wisteria can be quite invasive, so we're trying to keep it trimmed and try to stay ahead of it as much as we possibly can. We'll see if it gets too intense. We'll have to take it out. And then we have some potted flowers just around. Let's see where to start, left or right. We're gonna go ahead and head this way. So we've had several things growing in this area. This originally had all of our poppies and some hollyhocks. Those have all come out now, and now I've got some gladiolas coming up. These were kind of late planted, some bulbs we got kind of late. We'll see if they make it. I think they will. I think we'll be able to get flowers, but if not, we can always get flowers off them next year. And then we've got some, this was purple sprouting broccoli. I only had one plant that actually went to broccoli, and I didn't get it picked in time. The rest of them did not. This used to be covered in insect netting. I just recently took it off so we could pull these out because they're just taking up space and they're not producing anything. So we're gonna pull these out and go ahead and put in something for fall. And down here, keep moving right along. This used to be, what was this? This wasn't cabbage. What was this? Oh, this was broccoli and collard greens and things as well. So once this broccoli was done, this was broccoli. Once this was done, I pulled this out and I put some other glads. You can see these are a little further along here. And then these are some okra plants that I just planted for the fall. I need to go through and thin them. Obviously there's several there that need to be thinned out. And here, this was where our cabbage was. You guys are kind of getting a late tour this year. We have several nice little cabbages that we got out of here and took to market. Now it has beans planted in it for a fall, late summer fall crop of beans. Several of them have come up, and then there's a few that didn't come up. These are some older seeds, so I may go back and fill in a little bit. Also, this is a potato from last year that must have got left here, so I'm letting it grow just to see what it does. It's about to flower there. And then on down, this was a summer crop of lettuce. We got one cutting off of it. I can see that a lot of it is starting to kind of go to seed and bolt. It has been extremely hot and dry here. You can see it's a little bit overcast today. This is like the first cool rainy day we've had in a long time, and I'm so thankful for it. But it has been hot and dry, and so today is a nice welcome break. Here are some pumpkins and gourds that I just kind of threw in here. This is kind of really hodgepodge right now. I believe that these are kidney beans. This is just another fun experiment for me. Those you'll just let dry on the vine. So those are growing. And then there's another pumpkin squash something back there on that side. All right, and over here we have carrots. We have 4 beds of carrots this year. A lot of carrots. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you can see some of them empty. What we've done this year is we've grown a lot of carrots because they seem to sell really well at market. It's something that you can't really find at our markets. So we grew a lot of them, and we started pulling them early once they had a decent size and selling them as baby carrots. And then we've just continued to pull them every market we have. We pull out a bunch and take them. Here soon, they're about done. We'll have to go ahead and pull them all up, and we'll see if we can sell them, and whatever we can't sell, we'll can or freeze and keep for ourselves. So the carrots have been awesome. You can see some carrots there, ready to go. So, and what we did too is I went ahead and planted this okra in with the carrots. So once we pulled the carrots out, there would be okra there. I had intended to do that with all of the beds. I've only got it in 2, just time, and we've just been busy. It's been busy expanding the garden and doing markets. So the okra is just starting to produce. We've got some we need to pick for market. We have market tomorrow, and lots of flowers. So I'm excited about okra. I love okra. We have some recipes too. You guys can check out our video. I'll put that in there. And then this is our pickling cucumbers. These are our favorite. They've been just really starting to produce consistently. We've already noticed that we've got some issues, but we've started some more throughout the garden. So hopefully those will start producing as these die off. We've got some cucumbers to pick here. There's also cucumbers there. I see more that are ready to go with carrots. And then on this side, I don't want to miss it, we have several sweet peppers over here. I just picked a lot of the big peppers the last few weeks, so we don't have anything on them now. I can see some buds. I'm hoping that they'll produce some more for me here shortly. And we've got more hollyhocks. And then we did have, all along the front here, we had buckets with potatoes. You can see one that's left here. All the heaps of dirt is where we dug out our potatoes. They were in 5-gallon buckets and harvested those. We have more that we still need to pull up. We have 2 more containers, one over by the gazebo and one here, and then a whole bed I'll show you in just a moment. Alright, so moving right on along, here in this carrot bed I put another pumpkin. You see it there. I kind of put random pumpkins at the end of all my beds and was going to let them just grow through the mulchway because I just wanted some pumpkins. We'll see. I've already got 3 pumpkins down the way. I'll show you. So far that's not bad for just throwing them in little tiny spots where I could. Here's our next archway. This has purple green beans. These for some reason came up pretty sparse. Not sparse, but not all of them germinated. So I've gone back in and I think I've filled in with some cucumbers here because we needed some more pickling cucumbers. So we'll see if those come up. But we've got our purple green beans. They've been producing pretty good. We have had some blossom fall off due to the heat. So hopefully we'll get some more on here soon. I can see lots of new blossoms. So hopefully we'll get some more purple beans on this one. And again, more okra. We love our okra. And here, this is where our onions used to be. If you follow our Facebook or Instagram, you can see our onions on there. Also, where we post a video about harvesting our onions. But I went back and planted some squashes there. These are different zucchini, yellow squash, summer squash, because we have trouble with squash bugs like I think everybody does, and vine borers. So I just planted another crop so that as the other ones die out, we have some more here that are ready to go. And hopefully we'll get some fall squash and things off of those. They're growing really good right now. Also over here, we have some of our hot peppers. So this here, we bought these seeds we were given seeds that were supposed to be Carolina Reaper. Obviously these are not Carolina Reapers if you've seen them. This is some sort of chili pepper, I believe, that we ended up growing. So we've got several of those that we're growing. Not really 100% sure what it is, but it is what it is. We're growing it. And then we've got some habaneros. We haven't had any turn orange just yet, but they're getting there. And some jalapenos. We've got some jalapenos there. And then over here is one of our cucamelon trellises. This thing has gone crazy. I planted less cucamelon seeds on it this year, but it is still just growing all over the place. It grew all the way up this trellis, and then it's climbed over and it's like taken over my wind chime here. It's like buried in there. But these are cucamelons. We've gotten a few that my kiddos have eaten. Hopefully we get some more that we can take to market. I was hoping to grow a bunch for market this year because people loved them. It's starting to rain pretty good, which I'm not complaining about because we need the rain. We have tons of cracks in the ground, but it may make it a little hard for video. Oh, just stopped. We might be able to continue. But here, check out these cracks that we've had. You can see even after the rain, we've still got these big cracks in the soil. Anyway, so these are the cucamelons. You can see we have some there. I'm sure there's some big ones. They're really hard to find when it gets that massive. There's one right there, cucamelon. I can see some more back there we need to harvest. Oh, there's a good sized one. Oh, the rain's coming back. There's a good sized cucamelon. Here we have another trellis of purple pole beans. So this one's been producing pretty good. We've got several beans on it to pick for market tomorrow. And they're just pretty, all this purple vines and purple flowers. Just think they're so pretty. And then here are some tomatoes. Got lots of tomatoes that need pruned and tied up. They're a little crazy right now. We had a ton of tomatoes left over after our plant sales and trying to sell them. We were kind of basically giving them away because we just over planted, but we had a ton of them, so I went back and filled in a bunch of gaps with some tomatoes that we had that were left over. They were really struggling, needing to get in the ground, so they're a little behind, but hopefully they'll produce here and give us some more tomatoes for this fall. The tomatoes, we got lots of green tomatoes. Tomatoes have been struggling a little bit this year due to heat and water and lack of rain. It's just been a struggle. But we do have green tomatoes that are growing. So as long as squirrels don't beat me to them, we should have some tomatoes here. We've been getting a few here and there real slow. There they are. Then up here we had some big beautiful hollyhocks. I went ahead and cut them down. They were getting pretty gnarly looking. And I went back, and there was also poppies here. I went back and planted some gladiolas to follow up the poppies here. And then we have, that's our other bucket of potatoes I need to dig up and see what we got in there. All right, moving on down. This here again was poppies and now it's gladiolas. Need to clean it up a little bit. You can still see I had some hollyhocks too. I've still got some pretty blooms that are hanging in there on the hollyhocks and up there. And then these are those tomatoes I was talking about that are crazy. And again, I've got some chores to do. Got to go in and prune and tie these up. They're getting insane. But these are mostly cherry tomatoes plants in here. So hopefully they do well. I can see several of blooms and several fruit. And there's just row after row of these. So I've got several. This used to be collard greens here, and I had some Brussels sprouts. I think that was it in here, and I pulled those out just because they weren't doing too hot. They got too many pests, and so we just put more tomatoes in here. And then over here we had onions. Again, I pulled those up and put some squash in here. And then I think I planted some beets right along here. I see one that's come up, it looks like. I believe that's what I put in here. And then again, more of our hollyhocks and more gladiolas. Flowers, flowers, flowers. And more purple beans. This trellis is really full and beautiful with the purple beans. And that's Joshua. So we'll go down here, and again, more tomatoes. These were getting some of our leftovers. This one here actually grew from the tomato that was here last year. This one, it's doing really good. Already got some fruit off of that one. Again, I need a trellis. And here's that big pumpkin plant I was talking about. I planted it in the corner there in that bed, and looky there. We've already got one pumpkin. I'm pretty sure there's 3 big pumpkins on there. 2, And there's the other one. 3. That one's still green. So I thought they would get a little bigger. I'm not sure which kind this is here, but we'll take whatever kind we can get. That's exciting. This plant too has tons of squash beetle eggs. It's hard to keep up with those. We'll do what we can, and then once this is done, it's done. And hopefully our other plants will come in. Yep, Josh was pointing out some more eggs there. Yeah, they're everywhere. Alright, on this side of this trellis and on the other side of the pumpkin plant is where we have our tender sweet cucumbers. They are growing on tomato cage trellises that we had. So you can see a small one there. There's a couple pepper plants in here as well. But we've got all these full of different cucumbers. There's some back there. I just picked some, but they're everywhere. We'll be picking all these today or tomorrow for our market tomorrow. This is another trellis that is full of purple beans on one side and then noodle beans on the other.
Found a big one.
You found a big
Yeah.
purple one? You can pick it. Yeah, we gotta pick beans. Let me see. That is a big one. It's a big one.
Yeah.
So this side is got noodle beans on it. I've been harvesting these regularly. This one is overripe. Well, probably when they get overripe like this, we just save them for seeds. This is about what you want it to look like when you harvest it. And then I've got some that just didn't really grow, but I really harvested a lot of these at the beginning of the season, and it will just keep producing all season long. And then here is a lot of our sweet peppers. Again, I just picked a bunch of those. We had a bunch of green peppers. This is a Purple Beauty. They're like sweet bell peppers. There's not a lot of peppers on here. I just picked them. This is not a pinos. We talked about that when we were talking about peppers we were growing. This is a jalapeno without any heat. So to me, it just kind of tastes like a green pepper. Nothing real fancy. Get that guy up. Go up there. Here we've got some of our green beans, some of our bush beans. So they're getting eaten up by Japanese beetles, but we've got some beans on there.
We can pick that one.
So we'll be picking these today and tomorrow for market. So that is our green beans. We'll be harvesting those. We've got some more pepper plants over here, some more hot peppers, some more jalapenos, some more, yeah, mostly jalapenos, hot peppers, habaneros, all planted along here. And then this is more bush beans full of green beans. Obviously been having some Japanese beetles, but these should hopefully have some beans on them that we can pick. Got some that were on too long. So we'll be harvesting what we can of those. And then we've got some gourds growing on here on this trellis. We've got some ground cherries. The squirrels or bunnies or something are just eating them up. You can see all the remnants. They're eating them up, which a lot of people really like these. Hopefully we can keep some to sell at the market because people like them, but they've got a little fruit inside and they're pretty yummy. We really like them. They're kind of sweet. So, and then here we have a bunch of squash plants. I think most of these are yellow squash. Got a yellow squash here I need to pick for market. Got several of those. I've had a few eaten by some squirrels or bunnies I've found the remnants of. And then just a couple pepper plants, sweet peppers down here at the end. Got some more random tomatoes, some more ground cherries that again, some animals eating on. This is more zucchini and summer squash. I got another squash in there it looks like. I planted a lot of yellow because I tend to like the yellow more than the zucchini. But I got zucchini in for everybody else too. There's the zucchini there. This here was radicchio. I planted it, I think, too close, and it's all just gone to seed. So that will be another thing we're pulling up to put in more fall crops. Probably more green beans, or I'll take some of my tomato suckers and make some more tomato plants. And then we've got a little bit of Swiss chard here. Looks like something's been munching on that a little bit too. All right, here we've got our trellis that's from our original garden. If you followed us very long on my other channel, this is where it used to be. The garden used to just be this side. It didn't have that. It didn't have any of the tomatoes. It was just this side here. But this one right now has cucumbers growing. These are Armenian. They're supposed to be Armenian yard-long cucumbers. They look different than what I thought they would, but they're growing. They taste good. We enjoy them, like them. We've got several growing. We've picked a lot. And then I've planted some more cucumbers to come in here. I planted a set and then they got eaten, and so I had to plant again. We'll see if these stay around. And then we've got, there's another squash back there. Some more peppers. I think these are hot peppers here. And then we've got ground cherries. So more peppers here. This is a lot of sweet peppers here, banana peppers all along here. And then we have our asparagus that is done for the season as far as producing food to eat. You found one of our friends. My camera probably won't focus, but that's an assassin bug there. It's a wheel bug. Likes to eat Japanese beetles and caterpillars and all sorts of stuff. So he's a friend, but you have to watch out because he can bite us too. But he's a garden helper. This here is our potato bed. You can see that it is ready to harvest. And this mamma jamma, I thought this was a sunflower, the way it was looking as it was growing, but now I'm beginning to think it is not a sunflower. So I'm gonna probably come in and take that thing out. I had sunflowers over here, so I kind of thought it was, but now it doesn't look like it. It looks different. So we'll probably be pulling that out. But these are all potatoes here, along with some weeds. And those tomatoes back there were just coming in from last year. So those are random tomatoes that popped in. And then here we have corn. I just planted some random corn to see what it would do. I think some of it's about ready. It feels like there's corn in there. I'll probably be checking those soon. I think they'll be ready to eat.
There's another corn in that one too.
So that's exciting. I had some squash here. You can see that these died. They succumbed to vine borers and squash beetles, so we'll be pulling those out. More tomatoes, random tomatoes that we put in here that were leftovers, so they need some loving. This here is kind of some random beans. These are not green beans. They're like, we've got lima beans, and I've got some other beans that you dry. These are kind of more experimental than anything. This one has a ton of blooms. This one looks like the lima beans. So we'll see if we get anything off of those. If all those blooms make lima beans, that would be awesome. This is our other batch of green beans. This is a different, we have several different varieties throughout the garden. So these are all, I think there's 3 different varieties even in this bunch here. You can kind of see the different looks. So I've got to harvest those probably and keep working on that. And then here is our strawberry patch. We hoped to dig all of this up this year and sell a lot of it and really thin it out. I dug up this much here and it made a ton of plants. So we may end up having to dig up some and composting or giving away and starting over because it's just a lot. So I went ahead and planted some okra in here just to fill in the hole, and I've got some weeds, got some cleaning up to do, but that's all right. Those are all our strawberries. And then here we have our big thyme that has really grown. I've been harvesting from it all season. You can see where I've harvested and where there's new growth, and it's doing really well. Here I had some radishes. I had black Spanish radishes here, which I've tried to grow 2 years in a row now, and they just went straight to seed. So I'm not sure why that keeps happening. I don't know if it's wrong time of year or what. So those have been pulled out. These are watermelon radishes. They're still growing. They haven't gone to seed. We'll see if they produce. This was some lettuce. It really didn't do much. So again, we'll probably clear all this out for something for the fall. Some more pumpkins and squash. I had a cucumber plant and I don't know what happened to it. It was fine the other day when I was out here. Now it's not fine. So we'll probably be putting something in there, maybe some fall beans or something like that. So that is the first part of the garden. We still have more, guys. We still have more to show you. That is not the end. It used to be the end, but we still have the tomato beds and all of our cut flowers. So we'll go ahead and show you those now. This here is our tomato beds, full of tomatoes. They've been struggling this year. At first I thought it was due to our soil just not being where it needs to be. This is a new bed that we're trying to amend and get going. I still think the soil quality needs some more help, more compost, but also just the elements. We've had lack of rain. You can see even after raining almost all morning and off and on all day, you can still see where those big cracks are that we've had in the soil. But we've been getting tomatoes, just a few here and there. You can see there's a lot of green tomatoes. So once they start producing, that'll be good. There's not nearly the amount I was expecting. And maybe once they all start turning red, it will be more than I realize. Yeah, it's just kind of not been what I expected at all with these tomatoes. But that's okay. We're learning and growing every day, and some things are out of our control. We've got marigolds in here. There's some that are, these are some sort of purple one, I think. I'll have to go look at my chart and see what's what. And there's another one that's getting ready there. Let's see. So it smells so good in here, all the tomatoes. So this is rows and rows of tomatoes and marigolds and herbs. We've got ground cherries, we've got some basil in there, we've got some borage, just all sorts of goodies in there. Oh, here's some yellow tomatoes ready. So these are, I think, the Hatfield tomatoes. Those are ready. There's some more yellow tomatoes. We just got to go through and harvest little at a time. But it's coming along, little by little. Over here is all our zinnias. Look at them all. They're doing great. We've had a little bit of trouble with Japanese beetles on them. Haven't been able to come out here and get them off as much as I'd like, but got some beautiful new blooms. We're getting to the part of the season where we have a bunch of old blooms that I'll be coming in and taking off and harvesting for seeds for next year. All different beautiful zinnias. This one's a nice looking one. Do you say zinnias or do you say zinnias? Comment below. I say zinnias, but I heard a lot of people say zinnias. I just think they're very, very pretty. And they last so long in a bouquet. Oh, these are some of those lime, cherry lime. That one's really pretty. Some beautiful yellows and purples, and orange. This kind of had this hot pink a few times. It's real pretty. And then the reds. A lot of people like the reds. I had some extra room down here. Oh, some of my zinnias are falling over after the rain. I might have to support those up. I had some extra room down here. I planted bachelor buttons, but I think I got them in too late or not enough water or something. They didn't come up. But this is milkweed and some cone flowers that we've got growing here. I don't know how much they'll do this year. I've got one bloom there, but next year they should come back and do even more. Our strawberries, you guys may have followed that on our social media. We had strawberries all along here and they were doing great, but they just needed more water, and we weren't consistent with them. So I finally made the decision just to let them go, to not stress myself out about them, because we have plenty more. So we'll probably pull those out next year and try again and probably get some irrigation in there. Here is our main cut flower bed. Everything, you know, besides zinnias, this is where we grow most of it. This is a new bed we put in this year, and I just weeded it, so I'm pretty excited to show it off. It was full of grass and didn't look very good. It looks so much better now. But this is where we grow most of our flowers that we've grown this year. We've got some hollyhocks that we've put in here because we have them, why not? Bunch of snapdragons, those have been beautiful this year. Another hollyhock. These were stalks. They're kind of, we've harvested a bunch at the beginning of the year, but we've got a few that are coming back and a few we've planted in. This is columbine. I kind of got this in late this year, so this will come back next year and hopefully give us some pretty flowers. And then these, I really like these. These are our straw flowers. Next year I'm going to be growing more straw flowers for sure, just because I like them so much. They're really pretty. So we've got several of those there. We've harvested a lot. We did have wheat, black tip ornamental wheat in the back. I've harvested all of that. And I've got it all ready. Probably going to use it for fall. And then we got some astilbes that we just started this year. Those will get bigger and fuller and provide some flowers from years to come. This is a beautiful patch. This is the Gophermia or Gophermia. Not sure of the pronunciation, but these are pretty. At first I wasn't sure they'd be tall enough, but they've gotten plenty big. They've got several different colors here, and I really like those. Those add a lot to an arrangement. Got some different basils here that I use as fillers and also to add a wonderful aroma to the bouquets. These are cosmos. They look kind of beat up by the rain, and also Japanese beetles. Always fighting those guys. Those are beautiful. You can see there's a few pretty ones there. These are some carnations. They haven't been doing so hot this year. They just started blooming, but they grew all crooked and all wonky. You see there's plenty of stem there, but the way it grew is really funky. So those have just started blooming. I don't know that I'll be able to do much with them. I might try. We'll see. We'll see. These are also all carnations. They haven't produced any sort of flower yet. We'll see if they do or what they look like. And then we've got some sunflowers back here. These sunflowers are really slow. They do get a little bit of shade here, so I figured they would be slow here. They're just not getting the full amount of sun that they would like, but they're still growing. They're gonna have little heads here. They're just gonna be a little later in the season. And this is our coxcomb. These aren't great for arrangements because they just don't have the stem, but I've been able to make a few arrangements with them, and they are just really a statement piece. People are pretty in all of them. So we probably will grow more next year, but probably not as many, and be more selective about where we put those, just because they're not great for arrangements. And I may be pulling these up and selling them. And I don't know if I'll have time. I might be able to put some zinnias or something in here to kind of fill out the season. This, we had Bells of Ireland here. They did not do great for us this year. Again, I might come back and put something there. And these are all our rudbeckia. I thought I lost a lot of them, but I was able to save a few, get some planted. And there's several different types mixed in here. I'm not sure what's what. You can see that one's got darker, a little bit different shapes and colors, but I really like the rudbeckia. They're almost like a mini sunflower. And then we've got a few daisies that we just started this year from seed. These are, I think, the Shasta daisies. They're kind of not necessarily done, but like these heads are done for now, and they'll probably keep producing more and more and more, and this will get bigger and bigger each year. So those are nice. In the spring we had a lot of those. And these were just here when we moved here. These are all different lilies. They're the lilies that the blooms only last a day, but I went ahead and put some in some bouquets because they had multiple blooms, so you continue to get blooms even though there would only be one a day. So those have been fun. All right, over here, this is my messy bed right now. I still gotta clean it up and work on it. This is where, if you watched any of our tulip videos, this is kind of where we had a lot of our tulips this year. Once those were done, we had some annuals in here. We had more daisies. This is where we harvested seed for those daisies I just showed you. And then our lavender was huge this year. These lavender are pretty much done, but this is after trimming a ton of lavender off and selling it and drying it. I'm going to be coming in as soon as I get some free time and harvesting the rest of this for drying. It smells so good. So we've had a lot of that. And then I had some wildflower seed mixes that I just came and threw in here, which mostly was zinnias. So I've got several zinnias and then some sunflowers. Got lots of grass growing. This is what the other bed used to look like. But I've got some beautiful sunflowers that have opened up. There's one and there's one. I'll probably cut those and take those to market tomorrow. All right, so this is our next bed to clean up. We've got a few other little wildflowers there. Not enough to really do much with, but it was fun just throwing these out. All these water flowers. All right, over here is our final bed that I have to show you. This is kind of a hodgepodge bed. We had a lot of our tulips here, and this is our berry beds. These have been struggling just because we haven't got the irrigation set up, so these are hand watering and we're not as consistent on these. So I do have some snapdragons in here, you can see sticking up, and then all of our berry bushes are in here. They are struggling because of the heat. And then we've also got cucamelons that we're trying to grow on these trellises to get more cucamelons for everybody. And then we've got a fig tree, a hollyhock, blueberries, milkweed, just all sorts of randomness over here. We'll probably have to eventually come in and clean this up. We also had alliums over here. It's just kind of got a lot going on. And strawberries. Just too much, probably. This is kind of where everything landed that needed a spot. Over here, again, some more berry bushes. I'm not sure if that one's gonna make it. But some blueberries. And then we've got some different plants that we started from seeds. Over here, there's a lot of salvia. I think there's some more daisies. And rudbeckia possibly. Just some different ones we started from seeds. I'm kind of seeing as they come up, so it's a little crazy here. We may move them as they grow and get established. And then some more berries and some more cucamelons. All right, so that is the garden, all of it. It's a lot. I hope you enjoyed seeing it and experiencing it with us. We love sharing it with you. And until next time, keep growing through the struggles and successes, the memories and messes, and let's grow something beautiful together. All right, we'll see you guys next time. Bye.